And it's the third and final day of voting in Russia's presidential election, which has been taking place across 11 time zones. More than 114 million people are eligible to cast ballots. President Vladimir Putin is seeking a fifth term in office. He's widely expected to win, as many of his opponents have been silenced, jailed, or forced into exile. In Russian-controlled regions of Ukraine now, voting started last month. Moscow says the turnout in these areas has been high. Kyiv says the election there is illegal and has urged Ukrainians not to take part. Let's talk about all of this to Al Jazeera's Dorsa Jabbari. Dorsa, you're outside a polling station in Moscow. How is voting going on day 3?
Well, it's a slow start, but you have to remember it is the weekend, the Sunday morning, and officials I've been speaking to at this polling station say it's still very early for many Russians. They expect a larger number of people to come out later on today. But of course, there's also online voting that has been taking place for the past 2 days, and that will continue today as well. This is the first time Russians are able to vote online in their presidential election. We saw the Russian president himself, Vladimir Putin, voting from his own residence in his office on Friday evening. So all in all, in terms of voter turnout, according to the Central Election Commission, as of 5 GMT this morning, it was 60%, which is quite a high number for just 2 days, given there's still a full day of voting that will happen throughout today. What many people here believe, this is more a referendum on Putin and his abilities to rule the country for a fifth term, rather than an election, due to the lack of a wide variety of options on the ballot for Russians. Having said that, there is a heavy security presence that we noticed at this polling station. We were here on Friday, but today there is a much more security presence, and officials are on high alert for any possible protest that might happen later on.
Okay. Is it possible, Dorsa, to describe the mood in Russia during this election? Given that nothing's expected to really change, that Putin's re-election is all but guaranteed, I just wonder how Russians talk about this amongst themselves.
Well, I think there is a sense that it is inevitable that Putin's reign will continue. And most of the Russians that we spoke to throughout the past 2 days believe that he is still the right choice for them, given his experience and his track record in this country. They feel, even though they may not completely agree with his policies, that it is not a time for change in Russia. It is a time to have stability and to be able to trust a leader that they know and someone that they have had many years of experience with. That is the general sense. Now, there's also those who are opposed to his rule. They are very much silenced here. The Prosecution General's office put out a warning on Friday that any disruption to the polling process, the voting process, is going to be met with a 5-year prison term. And many opposition figures, as you mentioned, are not in the country or behind bars. So there is a sense that there is no other choice than Vladimir Putin. And many people, at least in the capital that we spoke to, believe that he is still the best choice for them through these difficult times in the country's history.
Dorsa Jabbari reporting live from a polling station, inside a polling station in Moscow. Thank you very much, Dorsa.